So I have made a decision this weekend that I never thought I'll be making anytime soon. I've made a decision to sell this Sony a7 IV and pretty much all the camera gear that I own. Now, before we get into the reason why I decided to do that, let's take a moment and enjoy the last few seconds shot on it, because a buyer, it's actually coming in today to pick it up. Also, on that note, the new camera, the replacement, is not coming in for at least another 2 weeks because it has been sold out literally everywhere in Europe, so I had to order it all the way from China. So yeah, I will be seeing you in about 2 to 3 weeks. And it's been 3 weeks and my camera finally arrived. Now, if you read the title of this video, you probably already know what camera I'm talking about. It is the DJI Pocket 3. And now I think it's a good idea to kind of walk you through my thought processing when it came to why I made this decision. I mean, trading my $8,000 complete setup, including the camera, accessories and everything, for something, much smaller than that and much cheaper. There's two main reasons what got me to make this decision or to even think about this option in the first place. And there's also one major compromise which kind of got me thinking for about 3 days if this is actually a good idea or not. So I think it's best if we start with the compromise and then move to the main reasons what got me to that decision in the first place. And the main compromise for me was the quality of the footage, because right now I have two cameras which I will essentially be using as my main cameras. The DJI Pocket 3, which is right here, and the iPhone 16 Pro Max, which I'm using right now to shoot this video with. Now, I kind of went back and forth and did a lot of testing to see exactly if I can live with the quality coming from the iPhone. And the thing, I didn't have the Pocket 3, but the quality between the Pocket 3 and the iPhone are very similar in terms of the main lenses. So I was thinking, if I can test and get the iPhone to look at least decent, then the Pocket 3 will most likely look the same pretty much, or more or less the same. So if I can somehow get a footage to look as good as the Sony coming from an iPhone, then yeah, the Pocket 3 would be the best option in this situation. So I started making some tests. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but the first 2 clips of this video were shot on the iPhone 16 Pro Max, and the third clip was shot on the Sony a7 IV. Now, to give you a better idea of what went through my mind, let me show you the first clips again. So here's one of the 2 clips, and here's the second clip. Were you able to tell which one is the iPhone and which one is the Sony? Let me do you one better. Let me put those 2 videos side by side so you can just spot the difference at this point. Now, if you said that the left one is the Sony and the right one is the iPhone, then you will be correct. But as you can probably tell from this demonstration, I hope this proves my point, the difference is not that big, especially after you take it through YouTube's compression. It's very hard to tell the differences, especially when you break a footage with something like this, you know, you take a different angle and you break a footage in 2, it's hard to tell which one was the iPhone and which one was the Sony. For example, if I was to show you right now, and actually give me 1 second, here's a video shot on the DJI Action 5 Pro, and I haven't seen this exact footage yet, but as far as I know and the quality of the Action 5, I think you can immediately tell that this is definitely not a professional camera. Okay, so I'm editing the video right now and I realized I forgot to mention something very important. The comparison between the iPhone and the Sony was done in a proper or a perfect lighting scenario in a studio environment. So this is not to take away from the Sony. As soon as you are not in the most optimal situation, or as soon as you don't have enough light, both the iPhone and the Pocket 3 will start to break the quality of the footage, while the Sony will maintain mostly the same quality. So that's why you are paying more money. Not to mention the ability to change lenses and have like a modular setup. So yeah, I wanted to make that very clear before you start attacking me in the comments below. But now back to the video. So now let's talk about the actual reasons. And I would say that the main reason is the weight and volume of the gear. I think the Sony is an amazing camera. Professional cameras in general are absolutely incredible. But my last trip to Venice last year kind of made me realize that if you are taking a trip that is longer than a day, it is very hard to carry everything with you. When you are carrying with you those type of bigger, more professional cameras, you'll have to carry the camera, the lens, the batteries, the storage, the microphone, some sort of a cleaning cloth and a blower for the lens and for the dust. You have to take with you a ND filter. You have to take the vlogging tripod. And this is not even mentioning a secondary camera such as the Action 5 Pro, which I actually took with me to Venice. That's a whole different thing and taking so much more space by itself. When I went there, I was able to carry with me 2 t-shirts and a pair of pants, and even then my backpack actually opened at some point because it was just too full. Also, carrying the gear around the city was a pain. I'm not gonna lie, just carrying the camera like this by the tripod, it was weighing about 2, maybe 2.5 kilograms. The backpack itself was quite heavy as well. So yeah, it just didn't make sense to take such amount of gear when you are trying to travel light. The idea of this channel in the first place was to travel more and see more things, get more out of my comfort zone. And if the gear drags you down, which I'm not saying the Sony did that, I mean, it did to a certain extent, but it's not like I couldn't take it anymore. But when I have an option to go much lighter, I thought, you know what, this might actually be better. And now, talking about the second reason, which is not as important, but to be honest, it played a big part into this decision as well, the money. I have paid approximately $8,000 for the Sony body, the lens, the 16-35 GM2 from Sony, and all of the other accessories that I had, tripods, microphones, storage. I had the backpack from Peter McKinnon, the travel backpack, the big one, which I don't use anymore, but that's the whole point, right? It's so much money that I have invested into that, and I absolutely enjoyed having this equipment, and I've been using them over the past years. But now I feel like I can use the money in order to do the things that I wanted to do in the first place, which is, again, traveling more and trying to see new things in the world. Now, I will probably, well, actually, no, not probably, I will for sure not be getting anywhere near the amount of money that I paid for all the gear, but I feel like I can get a good part of the money back, more than half probably, which will fund my future videos for, I'd say, at least by the end of this year, if not even going into the next year. I've already paid, I've sold the A7 IV as I mentioned earlier in this video, so with the money I actually bought the Pocket 3, and yeah, I think I'll be spending the rest of the money, and also when I'll be selling the rest of the stuff to again fund the videos later this year and maybe in the next year as well. So that was kind of, or those two were the main decisions that kind of got me to thinking about making this change and then reaching that compromise, which again we talked about earlier. So yeah, that's been my reasoning behind this kind of upgrade, downgrade, however you want to call it. Now, I personally think I made the right decision. I feel like this was a correct way to go forward. I'm excited for the future months because I have so many plans in mind, and now I can actually execute them because I have the money, or I will have the money eventually as I'm selling those accessories and lenses and everything one by one. But yeah, that's pretty much where I'm sitting right now. I will be making a video in the future showing you all the gear that I'm taking with me, which you will see, it surprised me as well from a amount or volume perspective. It actually takes less than a quarter of a backpack now, which is exactly what I wanted in the first place. But yeah, I'll leave that for a different video. And that's about it. Also, again, I want to make sure I make this very clear. This is not a video trying to make you sell your gear in order to downgrade or again upgrade, depending on how you want to see it. This is just my decision, or the decision that I took, and I thought I will share it with you as well. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the future ones, which Should be pretty exciting, so stay tuned for that. But anyway, see you. Bye bye.